Hi, okay, in this second video, we're going to carry on with administering of user controls in ASP.NET website using Visual Studio. If you can remember from the previous video, we created a website, which I'm just opening here in Visual Studio. We've got our pages, which are our default page with our login controls, login view, login name, login status, this change password option that we created previously. We've got our change password wizard there on our page change password. Got my login control and I've got my registration control. What we're going to do is look at how we administer the back end of this now, and going to set some security. In order to do this, I'm going to make a couple of little changes first and foremost to this website. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this change password page and I want to move that into a separate folder that only a logged in user can have access to. So you can't change your password if you're not a logged in user. So in my Solution Explorer over here, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a folder. So I'm just going to add new folder and I'm going to call that admin. And then my change password, I'm going to simply drag it in to that admin folder. So Visual Studio does all the hard work for me. And as we can see, change password is now inside that admin folder. What that does mean, if you remember, we've got a couple of things that will happen when you press the button. So we just need to change a couple of the properties in our password. So if I just, in this change password pile, just highlight the control, and I'm just going to change here the continue destination will have to be the default page again, but it's going to put the correct directory to the default page. And likewise, there's a cancel destination. So if we just find the cancel destination, there we go, cancel destination, we want that to also go to the default page. So it's just going to change the directive on there. And one further change we'll have to make is in this page here, the change visit password will now go to admin / change password to send it to that folder and then change password page. That's all. That's the only changes we need to make to the actual coding. Now come the clever bit. If you notice in any of these controls, if you press the little arrow, you've got administer website. You've got it there on the login view. You've got it there on the change password. You've got it there on the login option. There's always this option to administer the website. What that's going to do is it's going to open up in your browser the administration pages for the ASP.NET website. If I just draw your attention to the web config file, remember we've set that authentication mode to forms, but that's the only thing in the configuration we've got at the moment. So let's go ahead and administer it. So I'm going to choose any of these controls and I'm going to click on administer website. This is going to open up a browser and we're going to see the ASP.NET website administration tool. So we've got some options here. We can configure security, applications, and the provider. They're showed here as hyperlinks and they're also showed here across the top as tabs. What we're going to focus on for this video is security. So if I click on the security tab, we can see we've got users, we've got roles, and we've got access rules. So users, quite straightforward. What users we've got, we can create users, we can manage users, and we can set the authentication type. Roles, we can create and manage roles, but you'll notice at the moment it says roles are not enabled. We'll come to that in a second. And access rules. This is why we created that separate folder, because this can control who can have access to what parts of our website. So the first thing we'll just have a quick look at is the manage users. If you click on manage users, you'll see the one user we've already created, which was myself, Richard. We can then manually create more users should we want to. And if you've got hundreds and hundreds of users, you can search through them alphabetically, and you can actually then edit the user and delete the user, edit what roles they have. So if we just go back, we've got the back option here. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to enable role. So I'm going to click on the option to enable roles. And then if I pop back into Visual Studio, you'll see we've had this pop-up appear. The file has been modified outside of the source editor. Do you want to reload it? And this is referring to the web config file that I've just showed you. I'm just going to click yes on that. And if I look in the web config, it's now added a new directive here, role manager enabled equals true. So by doing it in this, we have changed the web config file in Visual Studio, which I hope you find is pretty powerful. So we've got our roles now enabled, so we can create and manage them, or we can disable them. But let's stick to creating and managing role. So I'm going to create some roles. So I click on create role. I want to create an admin role. So the new name is admin. I'm going to add the role. Okay, and I'm going to create a user. So I've got two roles now, admin and user. If I click on manage, we can get any options that we might have. We've not set any options yet, so let's go back to our security tab. We've got two existing roles now. And now I'm going to look at some access rules. So I'll create an access rule. So what we're going to say is the users, which is our root directory. We've got admin file and we've got update file. So the admin, the role is going to apply to the admin page. Just the admins can have, and I'm going to change the permission to allow. And OK. And create access rules. Admin of the role of user is denied. OK. If I look at manage access roles now, we could got something to manage now. So we can see that for the admin file, we are allowing admins and we're denying users. Okay. And in the app data file, we've got no settings. We're allowing everybody to be able to do that. And in the main file, root folder, everybody can access that. Okay. I'm just going to have a look at the access rule. The app data, anonymous users are also going to be denied access. That'll do for now, I think. And now I'm going to manage users, and I just want to edit this user, the roles of this user, Richard. I'm going to click on edit roles, and I'm going to tick admin. Okay, so Richard will now be an admin. Okay, I'm going to create a new user, and we'll call it Omar. Give him a password. Okay, just go back a page now. Home security. Now we've got created two users. Let's just manage them. And Omar, I'm going to edit his roles, and we'll just call him a user. Okay. So we've got two users. We've got Richard, who's an admin, and Omar, who's a user. We've got two roles, the admin and the user, and we've said what each of those can have access to. So that is setting up the access controls. If we then like to launch our website, so from Visual Studio, I'm going to view it in a browser. And we get to our home page. This time I want to change our password. So we should, by clicking change password, go to the change password page. That's what we expect. I'm logged in as Richard here, so I'm just going to log out for this purpose. So it now says, hello visitor, please log in, change password. Click on change password. It doesn't take me to the change password page. It takes me to the login page. It's saying to me, you can't go to the change password page without being logged in. If I now log in as Richard, it takes me to the change password page. If I just cancel that and go back to the page and log back out this time, I'm going to click on change password again, and now I'm going to log in as Omar. And it won't take me to that page, change password page, because Omar is not an admin. Omar has not got access to that page. So that's all really. That's just what I wanted to show you about administering through the ASP.NET website administration tool. I hope that's been of use to you. All the best with your own websites. Thank you very much.